boy. Who's the good boy? Yes, you are. You're the best boy. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Nora Show. Today, this is the skirt that we are going to mess with. I've got my Wolverine mug. I've got my coffee. Let's sew. Hit the subscribe button, stay through the end of the video so that I get watch time and I can get monetized. Which, by the way, is a good thing because it means I'll stick around. Oh, do you need down? Do you need down? Do you need down? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Yesterday I did a live video. In this video, I drafted the back and the front of the skirt for the well-tailored suit. That's what a costume jumper means in this case. I also ended up drafting the wrong back to a completely different pattern yesterday. I got confused. So today, I'm not going to worry about the top. I'm just going to worry about the bottom first, because if you've been watching this, you know that my last skirt was a little, and I'd like to not repeat that. So I need to give it a little bit more care and a little bit more time. So this one is going to be draft it, do a muslin, try it on, tweak the pattern, and go from there. So I'm going to take my time because sewing takes time. My iron just died. This could not be more inconvenient. Okay, so I just showed you how I was going to do the front center pleat to this skirt. This is where, if a person wants to be super fancy, you would put a contrasting material inside this pleat. This would be a perfect point to do that. Actually, I'm really tempted to do this, where I take that red linen and put it on the inside of this pleat so that when I walk, you get a flash of red. And then on the pockets for the jacket, put the red linen on the inside of the pocket so that if the pocket opens up, you get a flash of red. I'm very tempted on this. The other part is that I would be able to use a red piping or red trim on the jacket around the triangles on the shoulder. I think this would be neat. I am not convinced. I don't know yet, but it is. These are the thoughts that are happening in my head right now. Besides the, I need to go to the store and buy a new iron. Time to try the muslin on and see if there needs to be any changes. And this is why we do a muslin. Okay, first of all, put on your muslin. Then, if you have anything that deals with a waistline, bend, 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 bend. Put your hands right where you're bending. That's your waistline. So I've got this right where it's supposed to. Now let's take a look at this. This has a lot of gaping right in the front. Does this look nice? No. This, and you can see the lines right here. This is ill-fitting. This needs more. This needs a little bit more to fit me in here. Here's my side seam. My actual side, like if you put a right down the middle. About 1 more inch, isn't it? Now let's deal with this. Hypothetically, I could absolutely sew this closed and shove me in it, but it's going to pull a lot. So we're close, but if I just sort of put this, because this should be at the belly button, dead center. This is too far forward. It should be here. And this, you can see, moves this way. I'm going to say, right here, I need another inch in general for the front. The back is actually where it needs to be. So I'm not sure that I want to mess with the back at all. Just the front, and give me 1 extra inch on both sides. And I'm thinking if I did that all the way down, that'll take care of the gaping, because I'm eyeballing this going, if I had another inch. Okay, I stitch ripped the pleat in the front, sewed up each side, and the sides now are perfectly dead center with my front and my back. Stitch rip this, and I have folded in 1 inch here, 1 inch here, and left, I said I needed an inch here and an inch here, so I gave myself those extra inches without cutting out a new muslin. Now, if you take a look at this, this is still not looking like a pleat, but more like a dart. My hips, as I have said, I've got some hips, so I need to sew around them. Now I do like this, so I like how that little, this had a neat little whoop. That's the technical term, I'm sure. Whoop. What I'm going to do is add an inch, just a simple inch, on both sides. When I get to the hip area, I have a choice. I can either be very strict and possibly wear a girdle with this, and I don't think that's what I want to do. I want to add in just a little bit more here. So I'm going to actually add an inch here, but maybe to here, add an inch and a half. So I'm going to come out and then a little bit more in order to deal with this. Now let's take a look at the back. First of all, let's do that. This lays quite nicely. This lays nicely. And so does this. This is accurate for my body. So I'm not going to play with the back at all. Okay, let's do some math here. Remember that everything is folded. So if I add 1 inch on the seam side of things, I end up with 2 inches at the waist. So I end up with 2 inches at the waist. And I'm going to add an inch and a half at the highish hip area to really give myself the ability to pleat this. And when I pleat this, I am going to sew it past the hip area all the way down to here so that we can get past that pulling part, and then I'm not going to end up with this crazy gaping thing. Okay, it's about 15 hours later, so please forgive my weird lighting because the sun has definitely set. But I have a finished muslin. My only critique is that I needed to sew this a little bit more gentle, but that's the kind of thing that I can manage to do well after the fact. So what I'm really looking at is whether or not this fits. The seam is on that perfect middle point on the hip. This one is as well. I know there's gaping, but when I pushed at it and pulled, when I got everything to actually line up here, it wasn't pulling over here. So I'm able to close that properly. This is down the middle, and now you can also see, let me back up, this is not now pulling apart and is laying well. So that's as far down as it's supposed to go. This goes up, it fits, it's at the waist, which is much higher than what we are used to today. And as you can see, this fits. So this muslin is now done, and I'm going to call this video done. I'm done with the pattern for the skirt for this suit. Next week, I'm going to be messing with the jacket. And then after that, I'm going to get out the linen and make myself a linen suit. Very nice. So yes, I promise. I absolutely promise this lines up just fine. So, happy sewing, everyone.